Well, if it wasn't already incredibly obvious, welcome to Let's Play Pikmin, a game that started a very interesting series of, I guess you would describe them as real-time strategy games? Pikmin is a very interesting series that at this point is fairly well known and renowned for being what it is. It's kind of a wholly unique adventure that I don't really think many other games have done anything similar to. Now, I haven't played this game in a very long time, so I'm not going to be that great at it, nor am I going to remember every little detail. But that shouldn't be a bad thing. If anything, it'll give you the genuine Pikmin experience. Otherwise, let's take a look at the options real quick. Sound, rumble, and high scores. Nothing we particularly need to worry about. So, let's start the game. And here, we have our save files. We have obviously file 1, 2, and 3. Now, one thing that I've always loved about Pikmin is the menus. They've always felt so tranquil and unique. From all the little details to the stars floating by in the background like you're traveling through space, the little horizon that almost looks like the planet's atmosphere, the reflection of the little bubbles, even just their look and how everything is. There's always been something about Pikmin that has caught my eye and been visually striking. It's always made me love these games. And though Pikmin 2 is my favorite, I still appreciate 1 for what it is. So, let's get into it. The impact site. Uh-oh. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I woke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then... no. Better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. And so, here we have our protagonist, Captain Olimar. And as you can see, this game is quite interesting in how it moves. You directly control this little cursor that Olimar will follow. And basically, based on that, you'll be able to aim and move. Let's take a look around here. A lot of our controls aren't readily available to us, because this is effectively going to be our tutorial. Now, as you can see, everything's very zoomed in, but can't really change that. Doesn't appear to be much around. Weird symbols on the floor. some flora here. And, oh my, what's this? Huh, alright. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion, too. Interesting. What is this? Well, should you go and inspect it? The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. Well, monkey see, monkey do. Huh. Extraordinary. When I picked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive. And yet, I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to the C stick and X as well. The following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints. Left bumper rotates camera, hold to follow the cursor. R bumper zooms in and out. Z changes the angle. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. And so, finally, we can zoom out and get a much more proper view at everything. I always felt this zoom was way too claustrophobic, but this suits me just nice. Now, if you notice, there's no way to directly control the camera with another stick. Doing that will instead just make this little fella march, which is rather interesting. Should we press the X button? What does this Pikmin think of me? I must observe its reactions. The more things I try, the more reaction I can catalog. I shall attempt to grab and throw it with A, and call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will also respond to C and X. Which it did. Pressing B, we do a whistle call within a radius around our cursor. And, should we hold A, we can grab the Pikmin, and based on where the cursor is, chuck them. Pretty simple. Now otherwise, see this little pellet here? Should we throw our Pikmin up onto it, he'll give it a smack and knock it down. By doing this, he will then start carrying it back to the onion. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. And more we shall. Now, coming down below the onion into the little red light, if you press A, you can look at how many Pikmin are inside the onion and how many are following you. We could put one in, but it won't really benefit us currently. So for now, harvest more flowers. And as you can see, although the pellet says 1, we received 2. The game will eventually explain that when you get pellets of the same color to the correct onion, you will get more than is initially advertised. This will be very important for keeping your number of Pikmin up, because as you can see, you're going to get a lot of these little guys, which is quite nice. Now, otherwise, ooh, a nice big pellet. Now, as you can see, throwing Pikmin takes a little bit of time. That's one thing I do like about the sequel a little more, is in that game, you can really throw them quickly. But it's not such a big deal in this game. The second one is much more fast-paced, whereas this one I feel is a lot more relaxed, which is nice. Though, we'll get into one of the biggest things in this game fairly quickly. Alright boys, come on. We got work to do. Now, as you can see, they're not nearly as fast as Captain Olimar. He's decently quick for what he is. So, you might have to occasionally stop and let them catch up if you want them to keep following you quickly. This isn't initially a huge issue, but it might hinder you later if you're trying to move quickly around an area. So, keep it in mind. Otherwise, let's see here. And one thing I do like is if you hold left, you can actually keep the camera following you, which is really nice. Otherwise, if you need it to snap to you really quickly, then you just tap it. I feel the camera controls for this game are actually fairly intuitive, and a lot of things that you do in this game do feel pretty good. Now, otherwise, they didn't mention the Y button. Should we press it, it brings up a map of the current area, as well as all of the controls, which is really nice. So if you ever forget, you can always take a look. Now, should we press Z, it'll enable an over-the-head type angle, which is useful sometimes. It certainly isn't my preferred way of playing the game, but it can be nice for certain things later on. Otherwise, this box has a big 10 on it. March all your Pikmin into it, and they'll give it a push. Now, you don't have to march them into it, you can throw them, but it's a little easier with the march. The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts. Press A to grab Pikmin. Release to throw. Press B to call them. X to dismiss. Use the C stick to command and control the group. L and R bumpers and Z control perspective. I shall record all of this in my computer. I can press Y to access the computer. Which, again, there I go, getting a little ahead of myself. It's okay, though. And what's this? Amazing! There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin? Well, that'll be something the Pikmin are for. Now, otherwise, as you can see, there are plenty of pellets around. So, the nice thing about this first day is that you have as much time as you need to familiarize yourself with the area, the controls, everything. So, if I were you, take the time to learn the game. Get a feel for it. See if it's for you. And if not, that's okay. But you get the idea. If you want to play Pikmin, it's good to know your controls now rather than later. Plus, too, you're pretty much going to need to grab everything here right now, because otherwise you won't be able to progress. Now, if you notice, some items can be carried by more than the required number of Pikmin. That will in turn speed up how quickly it is carried, which is another thing that will become very important. When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks, I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by repeatedly tapping A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flush with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. So yeah, a lot of very simple things. Again, the game takes its time letting you learn and teaching you, which is really nice. Especially because, later on, you're going to be on a timer. And that's one of the biggest things I'm not a huge fan of with Pikmin 1. You have a finite time limit to beat and play the entire game. It's not a huge issue, but it's also something I'm not an incredible fan of. I don't mind it, but it's one of the reasons I like Pikmin 2 so much more. You'll still have timers for your day, but there's no finite limit, which I like. So now, let's try carrying the engine. Looks like all hands on deck. Very nice. Now, as you can see, they will slowly begin to start carrying that. This would be a good opportunity if you had something else to do as Captain Olimar, or had more Pikmin to do something with. You could explore and do other things. That's going to be a really big and important aspect of this game. Multitasking, and making sure you're doing more than one thing at a time if you can. This game teaches and you practice the art of, I believe it was called Dondori? Something like that. I forget the exact word, but the point is, it's the art of multitasking. Or something similar. Point is, it's a big mantra to this game. And it is rather fun. Look at that. Things are looking up. Oh, glorious. With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. And so the game then teaches us, at the end of every day, any Pikmin you have with you will be recalled to their proper onion. You'll then take off and head into the stars. One day since impact, I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hokotate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I name it the Forest of Hope. I explore it tomorrow. So there's the big gimmick of this game. You need to find 29 parts in 29 days. Otherwise, it's game over. That's the biggest caveat I'm not a huge fan of, but it does add an interesting challenge to this game. Now the other elephant in the room. The planet's name that Olimar is from. I believe officially it is pronounced Hokotate. Now as a child, and as I may end up referring to it, I always just called it Hokotate. Because that was a lot easier for me. And that's also what the word looks like. However, I will do my best to refer to it as Hokotate. Which, to be fair, it doesn't sound bad. It's just, I read it and pronounced it my whole life as Hokotate, so gonna be a bit of a hard habit to break. But now, we get our end results. Pikmin population. Today's change in Pikmin population. There, we have a graph that shows the time from the start of the day to the end, showing how we did. We can see that we sprouted 25 Pikmin today, and have sprouted 25 total. We didn't have any fights, nor did we leave any behind, which, ideally, we want to keep those two numbers as low as possible, though they're not going to remain 0 forever, so don't get too attached. Otherwise, let's save our game. Which again, there's more of that menu magic. I always thought it looked so good. And now, we have the next area, the Forest of Hope. As you can see, you can easily and visibly see every part that is in the area. So within the impact site, there's one more part, though that's not going to be available to us for quite some time. Otherwise, there's quite a few things in the Forest of Hope, which makes sense. Otherwise, we press Y, we can check the log for every single day we could possibly be here. They open up as we spend time. So for some, we may never see them, which is fine by me. Otherwise, let's go to the Forest of Hope. And let's get our first real feel for how this game plays. Ah, there's that beautiful music. My dolphin has returned to the surface along with the Pikmin's onion. Being alone on this strange planet makes me somewhat uneasy, so I shall call the Pikmin out of the onion. All I need to do is stand in the light beneath the onion and press A. Fairly simple. Now frankly, we have no reason not to get every Pikmin out as quick as possible. Now here is where we're going to start doing most of our multitasking. This gate here is going to bar us from progressing, but there are also pellets around here that allow us to gain more Pikmin. So, we want to make sure to have some of our Pikmin go deal with that. There's also, too, some grass here, which... Another intriguing discovery. A local variety of grass produces a sort of yellow nectar when the Pikmin drink this delicacy, they instantly mature into flowers. This apparent Pikmin favorite seems to be full of nutrition. Closer observation is needed to determine the strengths and peculiarities of these flower Pikmin. Bit of a weird way how they organized it there, but as we will hopefully see, seeing as they did it off screen, this grass will make yellow nectar bulbs that, when the Pikmin drink it, they will mature into flowered Pikmin, which, in general, are stronger and faster than normal Pikmin. They can't carry more, but they are quicker, so you want to make sure to use them when you can. That's one of the biggest keys to this game, making sure you're spending as much time as you can increasing your numbers, gathering parts, and unlocking new things. As you can see, we'll be getting into the combat quite soon here. These are Bulborbs. They're your base variety of enemy. Consider it the Goomba of this game. And as you can see, they can bite your Pikmin and deal a fair bit of damage. They won't kill them instantly though, meaning you have a chance of getting them back, which is good. Now, as you can see, getting more Pikmin here is the name of the game. Now, what I would recommend, only have the red Pikmin, only grab these red flowers. Because those yellow ones might come in handy fairly soon. Now, one thing the game hasn't really explained yet. Each Pikmin is good for something different. Red Pikmin are your fighters. They are born and bred for combat. But they also have another peculiarity about them. They are resistant to fire, and eventually the game will mention this. But I want to bring it up now so you have the idea of it. Ooh, there's some of that yellow nectar, as you can see. They'll drink it up, which is beautiful. And we will grab some more Pikmin here. Because frankly, this is a numbers game. The more Pikmin you have, the better off you are. So, you want to make sure you're paying attention as much as you can. And with all of our lads increased, I was going to say ideally there's more nectar, but it's okay if there's not. Because we have some fighting to do. With 34, we should be pretty okay. Now, one technique that is often used in this game is getting behind enemies and swarming them. Because your Pikmin can deal a fair bit of damage very quickly. Now, with some of these bigger enemies, you need to be a little careful. They can deal a lot of damage. Luckily, they're not exactly the most sensitive creatures, so you can get around them fairly easily. Just maybe be a little more careful when you actually get up to them. So let's get them started on another gate. And as you saw earlier, I had them start working on a bridge over here, which will help us get some parts later on, or at least a part. Let's take a look here. Grab our new sprouts. And ideally, with all of our new Pikmin here, we'll be able to go finish that bridge real quick, and then take on that big Bulborb. Because frankly, he's a little scary. And I want to make sure we deal with him as quick as we can. So let's get more of our lads on this bridge here. As you can see, they completed it rather quickly, giving us access to more flowers. Now, as you can see, these ones change color, which we didn't get very lucky, but that is okay. Now, one thing that I could demonstrate, but I'd rather not, Pikmin can drown. At least this color can. So you want to be careful around water. Otherwise, it would probably be wise to get all of these lads working on this bridge first. And then, with all of our forces returned, we can then take on this big old Bulborb. I will say, I do love the design of these enemies. They're kind of adorable. At least, I think so. There you go, lads. So one of the best techniques was that swarm method. So get up behind them, swarm with everything you got. Now another thing too, Olimar can also fight. So, if I were you, press the A button after you've swarmed all your Pikmin. That way, you'll throw either some that you have remaining, or Olimar will deal damage. No, 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 no. Don't do that yet. Come on, boys. We got a job to do here. So, swarm method. Start smacking them. There you go. Another little baby. Throw some Pikmin at them. Nice and easy. Now, what I'm going to do is there is another ship piece over here. I'm going to have our red boys start carrying this back. Why, it's the Eternal Fuel Dynamo. It has an unlimited energy supply. I won't have to worry about saving electricity anymore. This will make my fight for survival a bit easier. And it certainly will, Olimar. As you can see, you need 40, which we should have more than enough. My clock has indicated the coming of noon. From now on, I must pay close attention to the sun meter on my monitor and choose my actions accordingly. So, it's best for me to review my monitor's data. Across the top of my monitor are the sun meter and day display. At the bottom are my space unit damage meter and Pikmin gauges. From the left These numbers reflect Pikmin under my command, Pikmin in the field, and total Pikmin, including those in onions. To adjust my monitor, I can press left to rotate the camera, R to zoom, and C to change the viewpoint. I can also press Y to view a detailed computer analysis. Which is all true. So now, all of these bodies I've left around were done so with a purpose. We have another breed of Pikmin to obtain today. The yellow Pikmin. And let me tell you, building their numbers up as quickly as possible is going to be very important. Come on, little guy. There we go. And as you can see, they're a bit different. The color is different, but it seems to be a Pikmin nonetheless. First glance suggests this one has, what, in some circles could be considered very large ears. It looks like it may weigh less than the others. In what other ways might it be different from the red Pikmin? No matter, they are obviously quite similar, so I shall call this one a Pikmin as well. So yellow Pikmin have the electric element. They are also lighter, and can be thrown significantly higher. However, unlike the red Pikmin, they're not natural-born fighters, so they're going to deal a lot less damage. And hey, look at that! Beautiful. Eternal Fuel Dynamo. This should light things up. No more candles for me. I've now recovered 2 of 30 parts. If I can find just 3 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Which is rather true. But, first and foremost, is getting our yellow Pikmin numbers up. These guys are important. And so, we want to do that as quickly as we can. So ideally, throw these lads at the flower, have them grab the pellets, try to get all those numbers nice and high. Because ideally, I want to try to get about 50 of each color. At least today. Again, ideally. I'm not going for more than that, because that seems a little greedy. But, it will at least help. So what I plan on doing is having these lads harvest all the various monsters that were defeated by the red Pikmin. Because with that done, we should be able to get our numbers nice and high today. Now, you might notice these little rocks around. The yellow Pikmin, if I march them into him, will pick it up. The yellow Pikmin have picked up some peculiar stones. Why did they decide to grab them? This action seems to be instinctive to the yellow Pikmin. But just what are these strange glowing stones? Brightly glowing cracks cover them. Perhaps these cracks indicate that there's tremendous power locked away within. This merits further research. So yes, yellow Pikmin have the innate ability of picking up bomb rocks. These rocks can be used to blow down these big stone doors. Now you need to be a bit careful though. They can hurt. The glowing rocks the yellow Pikmin picked up seem to be explosive stones. Perhaps they know that these stones can be used as powerful weapons. The bomb rocks are dangerous, so I must take care when using them, but they should be able to blast open the stone walls that block the pathways. I may even be able to use them against some of the wild creatures. I must be vigilant. Pikmin I dismiss by pressing X bring their bombs when I call them back. Pikmins I throw by pressing A drop their bombs when I call them back. Keep clear of the explosion. When I touch Pikmin directly, they keep their bombs and fall in line. So yes, you need to be careful. These guys, while not suicidal, aren't the smartest. They don't really understand a lot of the more semantics of carrying live explosives. Go figure, huh? So, the whole point is,
once we start grabbing more yellow Pikmin, we can start opening all of these rock walls, which you want to do as quickly as you can. Because the more progress you make in one day, the more progress you'll have for the next. Perfect. Re-up on these bombs. There you go, buddy. Now, I would recommend throwing them over here. And you can throw more than one at a time, but you gotta be a little careful. Because as you can see, it can be fairly dangerous. Otherwise, we are running out of a bit of time for today. But we should be able to get just about everything I want to do today done fairly easily. Have all the rest of the yellow Pikmin, just like so. And let's start running over this way, because we will have them carry the Bulborb. Just like so. Have them grab these other bomb rocks. Grab all the others. Get these guys back with these bodies. And again, it's gonna be fairly close with what I'm trying to do here, but it should all work out. I think I still have one or two that can carry. Perfect. So let's use these fellas here to blow open this wall here.
I've made yet another Pikmin-related discovery. Just when I was about to exceed 100 Pikmin in the field, the onion stopped expelling seeds, yet the total number of Pikmin continued to climb. It seems that once there are 100 Pikmin in the field, subsequent seeds get stored inside the onion. Thus, no more than 100 Pikmin can be in the field at one time in any area.
Very true. Throw 2 more bombs. That should complete that. Let's pluck these red Pikmin here. Make sure everyone falls in line. And while we do have a new area, how do I do this? There is a way in order to sort Pikmin, and I forget how to do that. It might not be in this game that I can do it, which is a bit of a shame. So let's dismiss the reds. Grab our little yellow friends. And have them grab this pellet. And we're going to make a mad dash back. They should be able to make it before the end of the day. Keyword being should. Because I would like to pluck the ones over here that we obtained. Which aren't many. But I do wish to have them. Otherwise, 2, yeah. Last call for the day.
My clock is indicating the approach of sunset. Pikmin waiting beneath the dolphin and onions will probably enter the onions on their own. But if I don't call the stragglers and add them to my group, they may not be able to get back. I'm sure that the Pikmin still planted are safe, but I'm somewhat concerned about leaving Pikmin to fend for themselves in the darkness.
So yeah, you gotta be a little careful. Otherwise, here's another interesting enemy. Those guys. We'll probably end up dealing with them tomorrow, because frankly, we've done all we need to today. I feel pretty good about it. Bring those 2 back. And now, add some more to our numbers. We can run on back, and everything should be fine. Not only did we get the yellow Pikmin, we got the reds too. Unfortunately, those pellets there are going to be wasted, but it's not a big deal. We did really good with our numbers. We have all 100. Feels pretty good, huh? Now, if you want to, I believe you can press, start. You can continue, and just go straight to sunset if you want to skip the countdown. I never liked doing that, though. Something about letting it hit sunset naturally always felt right. And we have today's final roll call. The reds go back into their onion, and the yellows are soon to follow. They just have a slightly bit of a longer track, but they will be fine, don't you worry.
"2 days since impact, it appears that many of my ship's parts have landed in this region. If I can just recover the parts of my radar, I should be able to use my radar screen. Oh, how that would improve my chances. Then I'd only have to press Y to locate my parts. Yet, there seem to be many hostile life forms here. If I'm attacked and my spacesuit takes damage, I must return to my ship, stand in front of it, and press A to make suit repairs. As I explore, I must pay attention to my suit's damage meter in the bottom left corner of the screen."
As you can see, we did very good with all of our numbers. Now, I probably should have given the red a bit more, but frankly, 57 should be fine for our purposes. Otherwise, let's save the game. And although it was a bit of a long-winded first episode, welcome to Pikmin. Next time we play Pikmin, we'll continue returning to the Forest of Hope, searching for more parts, and hopefully getting those numbers nice and high. As always, I'm Brad. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.